I myself am extremely particular and extremely anal about storage space in our home. I get very anxious when I go into the cupboard and I can't find what I'm looking for because we have so much stuff in the cupboard, maybe too much stuff in the cupboard. Therefore, because of this, I am that kind of person that will go to the Goodwill and drop stuff off maybe 2 to 3 times a year. I'll really evaluate what's going on in my closet. I'll evaluate what's going on in our kitchen. I'll evaluate what's going in our basement. I will take a look around. I'll grab this. I'll grab that. We don't need this. We don't need that. I'll throw it in the Goodwill bin. Hopefully someone else will need that. Hopefully someone else will want that. The last thing that I want to do is I really hate wasting. I hate throwing stuff out. I hate wasting food. I hate seeing people wasting food. As I came up, we weren't the most financially stable family, so anytime a good meal was on the table, I would eat that right up, which is part of the problem why I'm overweight though, because I don't like to waste food, and I will eat every single bit that's on my plate. I hate to see food wasted because, again, of my upbringing, and I know how hard my mother worked to put that food on the table and how hard my father worked to put that food on the table. So I always appreciated food. Also, my grandfather, when I was growing up, when I would go over to my grandparents' house for dinner, he would not let me leave the table unless everything was off of the plate. It's that old school depression mentality. It's that, growing up in hard times mentality. And I really do stick to that to this day. So I get very frustrated when I see people waste stuff. I get very frustrated when I see people not finish their food on their plate. Hey, if you don't need it, if you don't want it, you shouldn't have taken it in the first place. So that all ties in with the overconsumption problem that we seem to have as a society. We're not making the right choices. Another thing that kind of triggered this whole thought process and topic of discussion in my head, a few weeks ago, we went to Costco in Rochester to kind of check that out. Apparently, allegedly, there's going to be a Costco coming to Amherst within the next, 5 to 10 years. I think some decisions still need to be made. I'm being sarcastic, obviously. I believe it's supposed to happen within the next year and a half, but I believe there's some stuff behind that, which is delaying the process. But if you want to find out more about that, go to News People. Don't go to a dumb commenter like myself, just spewing out thoughts into this microphone. Do the research, find out why. But went to Costco, stood in line for about a good 40 minutes to get our membership card. And as we were standing there, I just saw shopping cart after shopping cart after shopping cart come past us, filled with stuff to the very top. And I got to think to myself, and I did think to myself, I should say, dummy, is that how much of this stuff do these people really need? Understand if you have a family of 6, you have children, you have pets, and you're trying to stock up on things, but are all those things that you're stocking up on essential items? Are you buying things because you think they'll be of value? Are you buying things that you think you will use? When we take our trips to BJ's, and on this day we took a trip to Costco, I am proud to say everything that we bought, we used, nothing went to waste. But I just see these people just, again, filling up their carts with so much stuff, and just like, it's part of that whole overconsumption thing. Yesterday, we went to Target on Niagara Falls Boulevard, and we were there maybe around like 11:30, and I had my trepidations. I was hesitant about going there at this time. And as soon as I pulled into the parking lot, I should have did a U-turn and got right out of there because we couldn't find a parking spot that was anywhere near the facility, near the Target itself. So as we walked in, just a mass of humanity in that Target store. The self-checkout line was all the way back to almost where the fresh foods are in Target. And I was just like, oh man, this is not the way that I want to spend my Saturday. However, there were some items that we needed to get. There were some items my wife needed to get. These weren't like optional purchases. These weren't like something that we were thinking about buying. These were necessities. So we were there dealing with the aggravation on a Saturday afternoon. And again, just seeing these people wander around aimlessly around the store, looking at this, looking at that. A lot of our friends from up north were over there, so I'm guessing they came down trying to save a few bucks. But my God, the amount of people in this store and the lines that we were dealing with, and just standing there, and again, just taking a look at everything, the overconsumption that we see on a regular basis is just ridiculous. So again, Do you think about what you buy before you buy it? Do you have a list of the essentials that you need? Or do you just wander through stores aimlessly and, oh, this looks good, this looks good? And again, it comes back down to, people talk about disposable income, not having money to put in the bank for their savings account, not having money to put towards their student loans to pay down that debt. And are you really analyzing at what you're spending your money on? Are you buying the things that you only need, or are you walking through TJ Maxx and getting this and getting that only to turn around and throw that in the Goodwill bin 2 to 3 months after you bought it, because then you realize that you didn't need it? Just a couple thoughts, just a couple opinions on the situation when it comes to consuming too much, and are we really living within our means?